Look at that. So it's gonna be interesting in this live. Let's see what the people have to say. I haven't even shown yet that I'm live. So
Is there a lag?
yeah, there's a lag, and sometimes on my phone it doesn't show the true chat, so I need a separate phone to display the chat
Really?
because the phone is so funky with it. Yeah, it's
Oh.
like now it's showing that I'm live. So what is up, all the party people? Yeah. And now I'm watching from this phone and from the other phone. Yeah, Eric, how's it going? How's life treating ya? Where are you tuning in from? What is going on? Answering questions, just hanging out. Seeing, do you live outside of America? No, I used to. I used to live in France and Switzerland. Now I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yeah, that's where I live. You treats, yeah. Oh, like a baby treats a diaper. That's how you're doing? I don't know. So what's going on? Why like that? Why not? Why are you not doing good? From New Jersey. What? What's going on? Look at this. Look at this sunset. I mean, if you live somewhere, it's like you gotta have sunsets like this. It's just incredible. So this just brings me pure joy. From New Jersey, what are you doing in New Jersey? So, yeah, Tucson. Life is good. Oh man, Tucson, that is good. Dark here. Yeah, New Jersey. It's 3 hours. 3 hours past us.
Ask them what exit I live off of.
What exit do you live off of? Okay, so people, it's funny. I have 4 questions or no, nobody asked a question yet. The only question was about you. Just asking how's the baby and the first lady do it. So people don't ask me questions, they ask you questions. How's that on my channel?
Okay, can you show my belly like this?
Yeah. So she's right here. Super pregnant. Super pregnant.
Who's asking?
Rain is asking how's.
Damn, that's a big belly.
Yeah.
Rico made a big baby.
Yep. She's doing good.
Wow.
Yeah. Adorable.
Oh my god.
So somebody said, lived from New Jersey, lived here all my life, whole family's here, exit 6.
Exit 6.
That is so funny. People from New Jersey like exit 6.
6.
Yeah, the turnpike.
The turnpike. I
You
remember
know, New Jersey. Oh my gosh, turnpike. That's in Florida. That's like the cancer of Florida, the turnpike. It's like they charge you 25 cents here, 25 cents there. It's like, oh my gosh, just stop charging people. Thank you. They said adorable.
Thank
Adorable,
you.
yeah.
8.5 months.
8.5 months. So another few weeks. Yeah, turnpike. Oh my gosh, New Jersey. Man, did I tell you guys? So I went to. So I'm retired. Brian's retired. That's sweet. Yeah, life's good when you're retired. So when I went to New Jersey, I went to my then brother-in-law's house, and I was like, let's go all out. So I rented a Jaguar, an F-Type, the V8, the R. And so Allie had a friend that was in downtown Manhattan. I think she was in the Upper East Side, right? Somewhere around there. And she lived right next to what was Central Park. And so we drove the Jag in there, and it was this thing. So there's a tunnel that goes through it, and we revved it. And people were looking, people were showing the middle finger, but it was the most epic thing. And then to top it off, there was another F-Type R, and we raced down. What road was that? It was like right next to Park Avenue, and it just hauled, and you heard it. It sounded like an F1. It was amazing. It was amazing. And people were looking. People were like, "These guys are nuts." And then at the stall, they were like, "You're amazing." And then the other guy was like, "You're amazing." Okay, Rico, love your videos today. Today's video, you had no hat on. That was a first. Keep doing that. What you're doing, great content. Yeah, sometimes I feel like I shouldn't do a hat because I'm not getting paid to wear those hats. Those people constantly ask me, where do I get these hats? And I haven't sold any, and I haven't gotten a commission check. So I was like, something ain't right. So maybe I'll do more without the hat. Tesla Model Y here. It's fast. Yeah, I had the Model 3 Tesla. I had it when they launched Carvana and they didn't know how to classify which model it was. It was just a model, the performance when it was fast. It is so nice. Those Model Ys are really, really nice. If you you can charge it at the house. I hope you don't live in a state like California where they try to charge you per mile.
Or Washington where there's no solar.
Yeah, or Washington where there's no solar. If you have solar, you're kind of good. Had the 3, but too small. Yeah, that's what I had. I had the 3. It was a quick car though, and the self-driving was really nice. I mean, if you've never tried it, like self-driving, you should totally go and do the fully self-driving. It's amazing. House charging, not bad. I love it. That's what I do. Charge it during off-peak hours. Saves you so much money. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. You can literally drive 160 miles for like $2. Have the newer junior model with FSD. Perfect. Yeah. The funny part is with Tesla, the Tesla model, Tesla is the only company that like sees, oh, our sales are down, so we have to do something. So then they'll kick in fully self-driving, they'll kick in something else for you to then kind of buy in it. But it's also like the market adjustments and everything else. So if you buy it right, you're like really lucky. If you buy it not right, then yeah, I saw this guy the other day traded in. He bought a Tesla Model S Plaid, I think a year or so ago, and I think it lost like 90 grand in value. And I think he paid 149,000 for it, and today they would offer him like 47. It's crazy. Have you done a video on the state of things in Las Vegas, meaning main strip, tourist level food prices, resort fees? No, but I can do that. I can do that.
Talk about it a little bit.
So it's funny because people have been telling me that the prices are in Vegas. They've been saying that tourism's down and everything else, but then there's other people saying, oh, the what was it? They were saying that profits are up, and this is what I've been kind of telling you in my content. If you have half the customer, but each customer pays double, you still make the same amount of money. You can just let a bunch of people go. But Las Vegas was always this place where, regardless of where you went or when you went to Las Vegas, you had like a budget in mind. It's like I saw this the other day that they said that if you go to Las Vegas, you have a budget and you're like, I'm gonna spend $5,000 on gambling, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna do that. And most people then kind of go with that, and they don't go to Miami. They have a $5,000 gambling budget, or something like that. And so they used to always have stuff for every budget. And I feel like that kind of creeped up in the last 2 years where they thought, oh, we can charge more. And all of a sudden it's like, yeah, didn't work. Chavara, the king. Are you a police officer now? I almost got a ticket the other day. So I was going 44 and a 35. And they approached me. What?
When people watch that footage.
I should post that. Yeah, I should see if I should post that video. Yeah, it's a 2-lane road. It's huge actually, and so all of a sudden, I see a police officer come. Oh, Javar's a deputy sheriff. So yeah, so I was going 2-lane road, kind of open. I was going like 44. Metro Police pulls up, and when you do the U-turn, when they do the U-turn and you're the only one there, you're gonna get busted. So I was like, oh gosh. And he was super nice. He's like, how's it going? He's like, going good. And then I was like, yeah. So I pulled you over. I was like, you know why I pulled you over? It's like, yeah, probably, but you can tell me. And he's like, yeah, you're going 44 and 35. I was like, ooh, happens to the best of us.
You said that?
Yeah, happens to the best of us. And he's like, yeah. Scanned my stuff, came back and said, keep it at 35. $108,000 a year.
What's
And then
108,000
a
a year?
deputy sheriff.
That's what they make?
Mm-hmm. So are you out of training yet, Jawara? I hope you're not in your cop car watching this. You should probably be out and about patrolling, or you're just hanging out. I've seen that. I see police officers just on live hanging out. I guess that's community service. Yeah, no, there's great police officers out there. There's also really bad ones, but that's every job, every profession. Yeah, just life. So when are you starting, Jawara? When are you starting? Training doesn't start till January. Okay, so he's gonna be starting in January.
July the offer?
Yeah, the seven offer. Yeah, that's gonna be great for you. I'm so excited. I love when people do stuff like that. Community outreach, community service. They're gonna go and pursue something new. I think that's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I told that in my other video. Like when you're looking at the economy and you're looking at these videos that I make, I start October 6th. Oh, nice. What do you do October? Oh, you probably start the academy, huh? October 6th. So, what are you doing October 6th? Yeah, training will be complete in January. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta run. You ready to do push-ups? Run a quarter mile, do push-ups. Run with full gear, uniform. Man, I did that. That was crazy though. I used to run like that. Man, I think I did did I do a 50 kilometer? How much is 50 kilometers in 24 hours? I'm freezing? Oh gosh, people keep saying that I'm freezing. Let me do the physical. I already got through the physical ability stuff. Yeah. Let me know if I'm still freezing or not. Now I'm off Wi-Fi. Can you turn on the lights, honey?
Yeah.
If you're outside. Yeah, the physical ability stuff, man. Let me let me figure out how much is. Somebody look it up. I did. So when I joined the military, I did 50 kilometers in 24 hours, something like that. Or yeah, it was. I walked for a full day with 4 hours worth of rest with full gear. It was crazy. Yeah, carrying crazy stuffs. Your video is freezing intermittently. I have 5G internet. Really? Really? I have like five. That's why my views dropped, I guess. But I got 5G. Let me know if it's still happening. So it should be on. It should be good now. Congratulations on the baby, Marco Polo. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's coming in a few weeks. There you go. What are your thoughts on the whole AI and democratization of education? What's your forecast for the next 12 months? What's the forecast for the next 12 months as relates to the economy impact of AI takeover? I think AI is going to have huge, huge potential. I read an article, and you need to look that up, where when you look at the education sector, they taken a school from Texas. They taken like the bottom 3% school. It was like in the bottom of scores, couldn't score anything. And they said, we're going to swap all the teachers with AI. And all of a sudden, they scored the best ever. So it was like, so AI has huge potential. It's about how we implement it. That's going to be key. We need to implement it a way so that it's basically an addition to human, not a replacement. So if you're going to implement it as an added benefit, it will work out flawlessly. But if you're going to say, I'm going to just replace all humans with AI, you're going to have problems. It's going to be, you're going to get backlash. But when you're adding it as an additional complement, as an additional, what do you call it? Like an additional, like tool where you have, like in a school where you have like you have teachers, but every teacher will monitor the AI, and if you have more questions and it's something funky with, you'll then go and check out why this didn't work. And so in that study that they did with that Texas school, they found out that everybody in that school had their own lessons plan made by AI, and there were just people overseeing the progress. And so they didn't cut out the teachers. They just said, you're not going to be individually responsible for it. And it worked out flawlessly. So the academy is 12 weeks later next year. I'm considering training now. in the coursework portion starting October 6th. You got to study. Police officers got to study. You got to take that exam. I've had a job. I I have. Hold on. What is it? I have a job. I have a job and have survived two layoffs. It pays crap, but it's a job. What kind of job is it? What kind of job are you doing? Let me know. AI is destruction of humanity. It can be if that's what people want it to be, yes. But it can also cure loneliness. So when you look online and you see these young kids that do horrific things with AI, I can't really say this here because they're probably banned alive or somebody's gonna report me. But as they're using that for bad, they can use that for good. So if you're an elderly person and you're starting to be lonely because your relatives or your spouse has passed, AI can be a great companion. And if you're going to have implement it like that with a humanitarian aspect, it doesn't have to be the end of the world, like destruction. But if you have an evil mind, evil minds will do evil things regardless if it's AI, guns, weapons, shooting, and then it just amplifies it. So yeah. So yeah, I start the coursework class, constitutional stuff, October 6th. Yeah, we're gonna learn all about the amendments, how many amendments there are to the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. You're gonna learn about a few legal cases. I've taken some legal classes in college, and you're gonna learn about stop and frisks and all these kind of. There's a few cases that you really have to learn that give you authority to do stuff. And yeah, because it's funny when you're a police officer, you have your rights, and then you have department procedures. And if you operate outside department procedures, you're dealing on your own. So doctors, if doctors operate on they can operate way earlier on you or can give you other stuff, but then it's on them and not on the hospital. This shit will be going back to college. Yeah, you're gonna be going back to college. You learn about Constitution, what it takes, department rules. You're gonna learn about politics within your own department. What kind of question? Yeah, ICE, ICE agents are coming for you. Me? Yeah, I'm an American, so ICE agents can't do nothing. The only thing that ICE agents could do is say, "How's it going?" Yeah, the sheriffs are over the police in Virginia. Yeah, depending on where you're at. Yeah, yeah. Sheriffs and then the federal. But you need to, if you overstep, you're on your own and it's going to be big trouble. Big trouble. So if you're operating, like I said, outside your jurisdiction or outside your bounds of operational duty, because don't think that the department's gonna like help you out when you're in trouble. They'll can you. They'll can anybody. It's all about them, because the sheriff's probably an elected official, right? And so he probably, if you're a sheriff, I saw that you got to look at Joe Lombardo. He was the sheriff of, or he was like the, what was he? He was like the sheriff of like or Metro Police. He was some kind of police officer, and he did campaigning with his uniform on to get some of his money don't paid for. So some of his travel. So he traveled in uniform, and he got a 1.6 million dollar fine from the state. And then he appealed it. Then it was down to 20, and now it's down to 5,000. So it's crazy. Lawyers can always get you better outcomes. Hey, hope all has been well, sort of question. But what's your thoughts on how the EU and US is handling the war in Ukraine? So I've been reading a lot about it, and Europe is a funny place. Europe is like, depending on where you go, Europe is, depending on if you're in Poland, Poland is like really helping out. But when you're looking at Germany, when you're looking at France, they got so many other things to deal with that it's not really like worth it to them to consider it now. And also they don't have any money. Neither do we. So we're kind of all running on fumes. And so sending weapons and sending stuff. There's been allegation against Zelensky about misusing and reselling stuff, and so I have no idea. There's so many misinformation that I don't know what to believe anymore. How do you open your mind to studying again after 40? How do you do it? So how would I go about get about studying in your 40s? I would say if you're passionate about it, just read about it. Quiz yourself. Make it a daily habit of learning. So you can go online and look at the most talked cases in. There's an officer that I used to follow in that does like police academy stuff, and he talks about a few cases that police officers need to know very well, and you just recite those and learn about it. And there's a way how you answer multiple choice tests that you should study also that are written by lawyers. So there's like a way how to answer those. Okay, here we go. Random question: did Lake Mead finally recover back to its normal level? I saw 2 years ago that Lake Mead water is very low. Lake Mead levels are still low, but Las Vegas, so Las Vegas is at a funny spot because what we do is we recycle the water, and so we have such harsh water, um, like laws that you're not allowed to water grass, you're not allowed to water stuff outside your designated areas, and they actually have like a water police and they come find you. And so, what Las Vegas is trying to do, they're trying to repurpose all the water because every drop that goes into a drain goes into a sewer system, and the sewer cleans it and puts it back into the lake. And so then if we pull a gallon and then we put in back a gallon into the lake, then we effectively have used zero. So when you go back and you look at that, we've exploded during population, and water usage actually went down over the last few years. Is crazy. Do you think NATO will go to war against Russia? I highly doubt it. Have you done stock trading? Do you recommend for? Have you done stock trading? Have I done stock trading? No, I at least done a few trading. Um, but it's I've not done like as it for a living. Are you talking about have I done it for a living? Homeless people are everywhere now. Prices too high. I don't think this is my controversial take. I don't think homeless people are homeless because the house prices are too high. Are you talking about people in tents? Because I think if house prices are too high, people live together and then they rent rooms rather than just pitch a tent on the side of the road. So that's a difference. Like pitching a tent on the side of the road is different than living in your car or living with somebody and like trying to make it. Do you see the recession officially being called next year? Yeah. We're already seeing it come out, and I just made a video today that said that Google searches on help with my mortgage is like skyrocketing. So when you're looking at people trying to find help with their mortgages, they're trying to find out ways how do I get forbearance? How do I pause my loan? How do I look at that? That means that people don't have money to fund their mortgage. And in my opinion, you always have food on you always pay food and you pay for your house. Everything else you can kind of let slide. If the car gets cares, you get another car, especially nowadays. You can care less about the car. Those back. But if you cannot pay your groceries and your house, then it's really bad because not everybody is like can just put in their house for forbearance. Homeless addicts need rehab, not housing since yeah, to be with no rules. Yeah, like that is such a hard question because there's so many people that truly need help that don't qualify to get them. So when I looked at the statistics, some of them need IDs. Some of them have a few $100 fines. And this is a huge problem in the US that if if you do something stupid and you have no money, they put a hold on your driver license. And for rich people, there's no problem of paying that fine. But for people that have no money, it's a huge tax. And so there should be a way to get these fines. So if I would run for governor or for mayor, if I, but I you probably have to be governor What I would do is I would say if you make in less than $40,000 a year or 60 or 70, what I would implement is that you can go volunteer to get hundreds of dollars of fines removed so you can get an identification again. So an ID card, because with an ID card you can then get a house and do all kinds of stuff. But if you can't get an ID card or like your driver license again because they revoked it or something else, then there's so many issues that you can't do. How long do you think Ukraine has until Russia takes Kiev with this? Two most major cities didn't make eventually. Um, I don't think that Russia's full intention is to take the whole the whole Ukraine. So when I think about that, then there's no buffer zone. So imagine having your whole country be in having like no buffer zone. And if they only take half of Ukraine and then they let the other half be like a buffer zone, then it's not directly that you're next to NATO, right? So then there's like a little buffer zone, almost like in North and South Korea. What do you dislike about being an American? What do I like and dislike about Americans? I think Americans are the greatest people on the planet. I truly believe so. Every I think the opportunities here are so insane. Like how what you can do inside the United States, you can't achieve anywhere else. You cannot go out from dishwasher to CEO of billionaires. You can't do that. Look at the CEO from Nvidia. He was a dishwasher, became super popular, and all of a sudden went to this Nvidia superstar tech CEO, and people don't do that in other countries or not in the scope that they can here. And so what do I dislike about it? I dislike that we as American do like what we put in our food, we should have hung people for. We should have really like what they put in like hamburger bread, like mildew fighter preventions, all that kind of stuff that other countries have outlawed a long time ago. We should have been way harder on these people and say, you know what you're doing with our food is poisoning us, and this is absolutely no go. But then they're like, oh, you're politicizing it. No, I think we can all agree that these red dye 40s, these red dye yellow blues should not be in food. So, what do you think of millions of people living in cars? I think it's horrendous. I think when you're living in your car and you don't have like a home and something has to change. And some of these people, they get sold the college dream. It's like, let's go to college. Let's go to college. And then all of a sudden they comes to find out that being in college wasn't the dream that they sold of. They say, oh, going to the Caribbean is some sort of way, then you're actually there. And it's like, it's not that great how they portrayed it online and social media and everywhere else. And so people need to really, really think like, what kind of career path can I take? How do I make more money? Are my skills aligned with my interest where I can actually make more money? And some people go into careers, they try to become an actor in Hollywood, they try to do something else, and then they lose track of time, then they lose track of what they want to do. And all of a sudden, it's going to be really hard for them to get out of it. And all of a sudden, they turn around, 10 years have passed, and they're still at the same spot. And so you have to be realistic with what are my job opportunities? What's the pay going to be? Where am I going to go, if this doesn't work out and everything else? So, you, yeah, Ukraine would be a partial Rome state then, I guess. Yeah. Do you think the U.S. should adopt universal health care or a federal level for all citizens? No. So, whenever the government touches anything, it just blows up. I don't think that, I think the idea is nice. I think we can all agree that if the government would run healthcare, it'd be very, very nice. And we think about it like, if the government runs it, then we're going to be so much better. Like everybody's going to get better healthcare. I don't think if the government touches anything, it's going to turn out to be better. I think you're going to get worse healthcare that's going to cost 4 times more. Look at the DMV. Look at anything that the government runs. It's super inefficient. The government steps over piles of money to save to pick up a quarter. And so it's not an efficient way to do it. In theory, yeah, it's nice, but in execution, no. Like look at Obamacare, look at all these programs, and we're seeing it. I just watched this podcast with what the guy from Vegas. What's Stephen Graham and what was Stephen Graham? There was Stephen Graham and the guy from Selling Sunset, the Oppenheimer group. So he was talking, I think, to Jason, and he said, "How has LA homeless crisis come so big?" Said, well, LA just used to tax. Every solution was let's just increase taxes. And then they just raised taxes. They did programs that didn't work, and then they said, you know what, let's just increase taxes. Let's just increase taxes. And it's almost like a, lemon. You can only squeeze so much out of a lemon till people are like, I'm done. And then they moved. And now they're in a $1 trillion deficit because the very wealthy people said, I'm fed up. I can go to another place where it's run better, where they actually have solutions. And then they moved out because very wealthy people still do pay a lot of taxes, especially in California. But even there, it's just too much. And then they were like, you know what? We're done. We're out. And so I'm always like, you gotta see how you can kind of make it in your world, because I don't think anybody of us can really go out and build a brokerage that makes, I don't know how much, I don't know how many, 900 or how many 900 millions, how much did the Oppenheim group sell?
How much real estate did the Oppenheimer group
Yeah,
sell?
so those are like very very um
3.5 billion in total.
so they sold 3.5 billion in total. Ali just looked it up. And so these are incredible individuals. If you move that much real estate, going, selling, doing all that kind of stuff, and then you're like, okay, now what? And so all of a sudden, people are like, ah, I'm being taxed too much, and you can take a few tax increases, but all of a sudden, it's like, nah, let's just move on. Got to be careful with what state you move to. Texas has big property taxes, I believe. Yep, yep. So this is what people do. They buy different places. So in California, you need to look that up. If you get a vineyard on your property, you can file an exemption. So there's a bunch of go arounds. But if they close those loopholes, then you're out. Hello. How are you doing? So yeah, it's funny to see that some people are like, let's just file for a vineyard exception, and then if you have a few vineyards on your property, you can get a property tax exemption or whatever it is. And if you're like Jeff Bezos money, then it doesn't matter. What do you think about moving to say Arizona or Oklahoma? Oklahoma?
With hurricanes?
I don't know. I've never.
Being mad tornadoes?
I don't think I've been to Oklahoma. Have we been to Oklahoma? No.
We drove through it, but
I
we haven't
drove
been
through it. Arizona, huge thumbs up. Love it. I think Arizona, Nevada, great states. It's probably one of my like Arizona, Nevada, are probably my favorite states to be in, to reside in. You're close to California. You get all the benefit from California without paying California prices. Well, people are catching on, right? People are catching on. People are building in Las Vegas like crazy. Yeah, people want to. Now that high-speed rail is coming, what do you think about Wyoming? Well, um, if you like, what is it? If you like horses, cattle, great nature, if you like that kind of stuff, yeah, it gets cold in the winter though. And can you look at when the first snowfall is in Wyoming?
What time of year?
Yeah, when do they have the
When's the
first?
first snowfall usually in Wyoming? Begins in October.
So in October. So basically, In how many days? 7 days.
In 7 days from now?
So we're in September. October's after, right?
It depends on what the elevation is. Early October.
So early October. So you have another 10 days. You can't sit here in a shirt and go in the pool in Wyoming unless you heat all the surroundings. So tax wise, probably great. I just saw that the senator of Montana joined TikTok, so that's amazing. So I followed him. I was like, man, that's amazing. Trying to grow my YouTube presence so I can have some really interesting guests on and like do a podcast or something. But I need to grow. That's why I'm like asking people, subscribe, so I can have some interesting conversations with some cool people. Speaking of places, imagine to move into Alaska. It would be amazing, but a real big jump. Yeah, Alaska. Yeah, when I lived in Switzerland, I used to watch Alaska's Last Frontier. It's a great show. Yeah. Oh, do you play golf? I used to. Watch the Ryder's Cup. Nah, nah, I haven't watched any sports lately. I haven't done much. TikTok hurts me. It feels like I'm running my brain. Yeah, no offense. No, I get it. That's why people weren't too sad when they said, "Oh, I'm gonna sell TikTok." Just like, okay, just sell it then, because then I'm gonna get like hours of my day back. Just how I feel when I see content in general from there. Yeah, yeah. There's some really good people on there, but there's also some really crazy stuff on there. Okay, XX, nice, nice that you joined. Okay, nice to meet you. I'm Japanese living in Japan. XX, I appreciate that. I've been to Japan and I like it. I can hardly speak here, read or write English. However, I'm using English text with translation application tool I've seen latest OpenAI. You're doing amazing at it. That's how you learn. Yep. AI removes the boundary of everything. Open and secret AI research national project in the US in videos in English speaking countries. But I would appreciate if you could answer my question in English to the extent that you know. So, what's your question? Of course. Ask me any questions. Ask me any questions you got. You're doing fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing great. This is what I'm talking about. When I talk about AI and then I talk about how great of opportunity is, look at this. Japanese living in Japan can hardly hear, speak, or write, joins the live and can have full blown conversation with us.
And I'm about to write something in Japanese for him.
Yeah. You look poor. I look poor. Oh gosh. You know, that is a huge compliment. Somebody calls me poor or cheap, those are compliments. I take this as a compliment. Because I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not, and I ain't rich. So there you go. My looks have spoken volumes. You should work more. Yeah, I'm trying to do right now. You should donate some money. You should donate some money. Yeah, help me become unrich. Oh, Allie blocked him. Allie's like, no, it's too crazy. I was like, come on. Come on. No, but yeah, this is amazing. Bye.
How did you come back?
Yeah, yeah. I'm rich. I don't like work. Yeah, so help me become wealthy. Come on, help me become wealthy. I still have a Starbucks loan. So this is a troll. Not worth your time. I know, I'm just messing around. You know, people always people always do funny stuff. So yeah, did you see the translation, honey?
I'm gonna look to see what it says.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I've seen. I think I've X. I think I answered some of your questions. I sometimes when I see your posts, I click on them and I click translate and then I respond in English. But English is also not my first language, so yeah, people get so I always have one viewer that says when I say no more, he writes me an email and says that's not what you say. You say anymore. It's like, yeah, you're right. You're right. So I love when people send me emails, all kinds of stuff. They send me news articles that I haven't even seen. I love it. So it's in the bio. You can send me emails. It's in the bio. And yeah, if you see interesting news or interesting TikTok videos, you just or interesting videos, you just send it, and then If it makes it to my video, it's great. Yeah, no, I'm trying to have like active engagement from my community, from my viewers to talk about life problems and how to get ahead, what I'm doing. So interesting, I got a mobile home delivered today, and the guy that delivered it also has a YouTube channel. So you will see like how I make some of my money. You will see I'll run you guys through the numbers. You will see me in his video. I'll repost it, and you guys get to see how I deal with my what I'm doing with my stuff.
You should my belly again.
That's because Alice's pregnancy. If it's too personal, it's all good. Here we go. This is how Allie's pregnancy is going. Huge belly. Huge belly. So she says it's going good. She says it's going good. We're just sitting outside hanging out. I was like, let me jump on a live. Let me just hang out. So yeah, so this guy basically has a YouTube channel showcasing how he delivers mobile homes, manufactured homes. Since I bought one from him, I will share this on my channel, how the whole process went, how much money I'm gonna make from it, and then opens up the opportunities for other people to do that in their market and to start really like cashing in on the American dreams. There's so many opportunities. Constantly tell people there's so many opportunities. And I wish I had like 20 lifetimes in the United States to take all of these opportunities, but gotta deal with what I got.
Show the belly again.
Yeah, in doing 3 weeks. Yeah, the recording will be live. You can see it afterwards. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's great. I think wherever you are, you have to go out there and see what you really want to do, and then you can just like kill it. I feel like you just need one person to give you a chance and you can like roll at it and just go crazy and make so much money and become so wealthy. It's so crazy. In Switzerland, I'd still be doing an HVAC. I'd still be doing, I'd probably still be living with my mom. I'd probably still be living with my mom. Yeah. No big house, no two dogs, just living with my mom probably and just trying to make the next day because you get into rhythm and then you're like, oh, and then life just flies past you. You wake up and you're like, oh, I'm 40, I'm 50. And so here you get an opportunity every day to like to do better, to meet new people, to help out, and the amazing people you meet that you can network with and trying to help you out. It's crazy. And the most people that I've ever met, I haven't met one that's like, I'm gonna really screw you over, and that was like the idea. I always met people that are like, yeah, sure, I'll help you out. Let me know if you need this. And most of the time, when people say that, they actually mean it. In Switzerland, they're like, don't talk to me. Do you want my job? And then they get all feisty about it. So yeah, it's crazy, crazy. Yeah. So for all my viewers, this is like, yeah. If XX is still here and he has a question, just answer my question. Just I can't translate it on the phone.
I'll translate it.
Yeah.
But oh, he said thank you.
So thank you. Okay. Yeah, Japan was amazing when I went. Had some of the most nicest people. Yeah, the time I went from Chiang Mai to Bangkok to Japan. Yeah, it was amazing. And that's what I keep telling people. When I'm looking at what you should do in your 20s is just trying to backpack a little bit, trying to see the world, see the pros and cons, see what Japan's about. You don't have to stay in the most expensive places. See a different culture, fall in love, write your own story. It's time for a lot of people. Australia, where I live, is insanely expensive. All people live with their parents into their 30s and 40s. What part of Australia? That's where my uncle's from. So my uncle's from Sydney, and yeah, wish us having a baby with someone, Jawara. You gotta find love. Go on some speed dating. Go on meetups and trying to find To find somebody. Go on hikes. Join a club. Join soccer,
No,
basketball.
girls do not like when guys talk to them on a hike. That's creepy.
No, I'm talking to hike club, like a meetup, not go out and randomly just chat him up. You know, go and yeah. There's many places you can go, right? Yeah, yeah. Just try not to date at work. That's not a good idea. Those are always liabilities. What kind of questions you guys got? What kind of questions you guys got? But yeah, taking the outdoor survival class. Yeah, yeah. Do so. One thing I've learned, and I see that is if you're super passionate about something, let's say you're passionate about golf, and you go to the golf course and you switch it up and you're hanging out there more, and you find other people that will hang out there more, you have that in common. And if you have stuff like that in common with your partner or your future spouse, it's gonna be amazing. So, but then again, I'm not a love coach, so I don't know. I don't know, but I think you can do it. I mean, you've written books. You can go to like what is it, like meetups, like there's like writer meetups, and there's other people that love writing. How do you this next year's going for the country? I think the next 2 years. Um.
George needs to wait till he gets his uniform.
Oh, Javara, you should wait till you get your uniform.
Like
Then
he
you're
needs
gonna
to,
get uniform bunnies.
he needs to save some ladies for the rest of us.
Yeah, and then you gotta save some ladies for the rest of us. That's what Ali said. So yeah. Okay, hold on. Before I answer your again, thank you so much. Is it possible to keep this live stream in an archive? Yeah, yeah. So you can look at the live stream afterwards. I don't delete them. You can just click on my YouTube channel and you can look at that and see it. So where are you from in Japan? So where are you from? Tell me a little bit about it. Tell me what part of Japan you're from. Shoot me an email and I'll answer your question. Shoot me an email. Go into the About section of my YouTube channel, and then it says contact. I have an email, and then shoot me an email. And yeah, and I can answer your question. What do you see the next 2 years going for the country? So for the United States, 2 years, I think it's gonna it's gonna depend on who's gonna get elected in 2026, how that's gonna go midterms. Hi, and then after the midterm election, it's either going to be more of this or it's going to get way more injection into money. I I think they're going to at one point have to inject money into the system, so interest rates are going to come down, people will get jobs, or they're going to invest more into AI, and that's the hard part, right? Are companies going to hire people, or are they just going to invest into AI? So I don't think it's going to be too bad of an outlook for the U.S. economy. I would give it about a 60% good and 40% bad, if that makes any sense, if just on top of my head. I live in Maryland, Sydney. Oh, I love it. I live in Melbourne, Sydney. That's where my uncle lives. The next biggest city, the province, Australia's wide. So yeah, yeah. I can speak some Japanese, but can't read it. Yeah, I know. So my uncle who lived in Sydney also had his ex-wife was from Japan, and it was yeah, and I think a lot of Japanese or Australians go to Japan and vice versa. Yeah. It's a beautiful culture. Japan is a beautiful culture. And I love that they have honor, that they, the honor system and everything else. I love it. I love it. But back to 2 years, I think, and I also think that all these high interest loans, these high interest car loans, everything, just people. This is what I've been saying. Like, I think the U.S. economy is gonna do good. I think individual peoples are really gonna have struggling. Like some of them are really gonna struggle. I think it's gonna be a recession on the overspenders, so to speaks. Yeah, I want to move to Tokyo. Yeah, that's a great place. Because if you're looking at it like, okay, if you want to move to Tokyo or any place else, just get a visa, try it, find love. If you're not married, get a spouse, get a partner, travel, retire. I don't know what it takes to retire in Tokyo. But yeah, I think it's going to be a recession for the overspenders because I just saw a guy that was trying to trade in his Land Rover and he had $47,000 in negative equity. $47,000. And he leased his Land Rover and he was like, I don't know, like 40,000 miles over his lease and the dealership was like, you need to do 40, you need to give us a check for $47,000. And that's a conversation as a dealer you don't want to have. I hope I can one day. Just working on fixing some medical problems at the moment. Yeah. 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 I always think that there should be some like I feel like if people move and then immigrate to another country, they're so much happier. I haven't really met people that move to another country and are so unhappy. If they move, they do it, and that's why I say like for people that want to come to the United States, I'm all for it. You just got to do it the right way and then you're good and you can then achieve the American dream or the Japanese dream or whatever it is, and you can do it. You can, yeah. I think you can do it. I think people should do it actually. Yeah, Australia is good, but too isolated. Yeah, my uncle used to goes opal mining in like the middle of nowhere, and it takes him like 30 hours to drive into the middle of the country, the middle of Australia. Yeah, it's it gets kind of lonely too when you're in the middle of nowhere. I live in the biggest Aussie city, so that helps a bit. I'm a date reason to be here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's gorgeous though. It's gorgeous. Australia, what I've seen is gorgeous. I haven't been because it's so far, and I'm tall. So if I'm gonna sit in there playing like this, I'm gonna be sore like crazy. So yeah, but yeah, it's life. You gotta figure it out. You gotta maybe you can get your medical problems fixed if you move to Japan, Stuff like that happens. You feel better. You're more, depression is a real thing. Like I would have never believed it until uh until I like experienced it. Like, yeah, who takes a 30-hour drive? Yeah, my uncle in the middle of Australia. Yeah. He can't remember from where he drove from Sydney all the way. I don't know where with some stuff with his backpack mining. The flight's long from the U.S. I know, especially from where I'm at. It is so long. Yeah, yeah, it's like 30 hours or something. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, and they don't have like the autobahn where you can just kind of coast. And then the streets, if you drive in, I think in Outback, the streets get flooded and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, you gotta watch like Outback truckers or something. You see it's like flooded and crazy. Yeah, the flight is way too long. Have you heard or been to Midway, Utah? No. They have a Swiss Days event each year. Some architecture resembles Switzerland and was settled by some Swiss pioneers. the Swiss pi- the Swiss pioneers made it to Utah. That's hilarious. Yeah, no, I've not heard that. Midway, Utah, and the Swiss pioneers. That's hilarious. What did the Swiss pioneers do? Open a bank? Can you speak Romansh? No, no, I can't. I can speak Swiss German. That's it. Sw- Swiss Mormon pioneers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trying to teach the Mormon how to bank. Yeah, yeah. That's what the Swiss did, or teach them how to make cheese. Yeah, yeah. That's funny. That's hilarious. That's what people say. You moved from Switzerland? Yeah. I wouldn't go back. Nope, 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 no, no. Yeah, Utah. Gosh, I've been to Torrey, Utah. Saint, what was it? Saint George? No, Saint Torrey, right? Where we've been
Tory,
RV.
just Tory Utah.
Torrey, Utah. Gosh, gorgeous. The U.S. has some of the most amazing like scenery, like you cannot believe, like national parks. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm a Mormon, not super orthodox, though I believe, but still drink, etc. Yeah, that's amazing. It's amazing. I love when you have community, like when you have like community. I love it. I love it. Yeah, yeah. Mormons is great. Yeah, I like it. There's a lot of Mormons moved to Las Vegas too. Yeah, really nice people. Yeah, the drinking thing. Yeah, we all shouldn't drink though. Really, we all should try to live. We should all kind of stop the drinking. We all be living longer, I believe. Take a 30-hour drive at Alley. Yeah, 30 hours. Pff, that's a long time. That's what I did across country, I believe, from the U.S. to from Florida to California. Yeah, people are great usually. Just lifestyle is quite strict, but no, it's perfect. Yeah. So I remember when I went to Utah, and I think they had this convenience store, and then they had a liquor store right next to it, right, honey? That's how it kind of was, right? They had the liquor store right next to it, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that it's not that easy to get to because it's not really. Getting a buzz is kind of like nice, but then it's like not something that you should be doing. I think not to our bodies. I don't think that because I looked at what our ancestors did, and they had like a slight liquor just to stabilize it. They used that to kind of stabilize water, do all that. And now we just kind of market it and we're like, okay, let's just add a bunch more liquor to it. Yeah. But yeah, Mormon people haven't had a bad experience. Like it. I like it a lot. I like it. Yeah, especially yeah, we've been to Utah. We also been to Park City, right? Utah.
Oh, the motorhome was handy.
Yeah, yeah. Park City's gorgeous. Yeah, there's some real nice places. Yeah, it's crazy. Crazy stuff. So what else you got before I'm gonna move on? Before I'm gonna move on. If anybody has any more questions. If not, I'm gonna look at these little dogs. Look at this. Tara, say hi. Say hi.
Hey there.
Say hi, Rex. Yeah, these little dogs. I work for Equil, a legal service company that handles class action lawsuit complaints. Oh my gosh. I believe my position can be automated in 2 years. Can be automated in 2 years. Uh, what are you doing that AI? So let me ask you a few questions. This is really interesting right now. What are you exactly doing that what can you do that AI can't do? Are you religious? I wouldn't say I'm religious. I'm like spiritual, right? Right, honey? Would you say that? That I'm
Yeah.
spiritual rather than religious? Also, thoughts on universal basic income. Um, I think that'd be a great idea if they could implement it. I think they could. I think the idea is good, but implementation is gonna be key. And I don't think they can implement it. Look at the social security fraud. Look at all the fraud that they got going on. It's like I read somewhere that they said like out of social security, I think 20% is fraud. And now let's look at if everybody in the U.S. would get universal basic income and 20% of that be fraud. It'd just be going crazy. So the idea is great. The implementation, I have no idea. Because are people going to get universal basic income for being an American? Is it going to be universal basic income based off of where you live? So is it going to be you're going to have universal basic income because you live in Las Vegas? But now, let's say you get $2,000 in Las Vegas. Are you going to get $6,000 because you live in LA? And then who's going to make sure that you're not just going to claim residency in LA and get 6 grand and then you jet set back to, I don't know, Montana where they actually only give you 1,000 because the cost of living is so much lower. So then everybody's registered in California where they get a huge universal basic income. I think of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of claimed owned anyone from $50 to 1,000. Such a question handle thousands of hundreds of claimants owned. Oh, okay. So can that be done with AI? I think yes and no. I don't think that okay, so AI is going to have huge issues when it comes to money because can you trust when I type stuff into AI and it sometimes so AI was designed to always come up with an answer and you can look at that. That's why it hallucinates. So sometimes when it brings up the false stuff, it hallucinates. So you are I wouldn't worry about your job too much because yeah, AI might do it, but they still need somebody to oversee it. Because in a case of AI hallucinating, somebody might get 10 million and all the money's gone. So yeah, it's not just like that. 100K UBI for every American job. What are you saying? The one thing AI can't do is oversee things with human reasonings. Yep, AI system in line, notice errors and keep it. Yep. I need 100K a year to be extremely comfortable. Yeah, or more. 100K nowadays is not that much. I can't remember if I'm supposed to draw my. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. You need 100K a year to be extremely comfortable. Yeah, you do. Yeah. Or more, depending on where you live. The only way one could survive automation if they get promoted up to a tier where they're part of the quality checking of the system. Yeah. So now you know. Okay. So now you know that that's where you need to be. So now how do you get there? So how are you going to get to so basically you solved your own problem, right? So you're going to have to be in a position where you oversee AI. So how are you going to get there? They won't deploy AI to come with its own answers. Yep, they will employ AI if they do. And have automated system can respond to ready-made answers. Yep. So how are you going to make sure that you're going to get a promotion in the next year? I think you can do it. I think you can totally get a promotion in the next year. You might need to start learning a little bit about it and putting in some extra time so you can get that promotion. Once you get that promotion, you're going to be good. And yeah, maybe it's not with this current company, maybe it's with another company. So check check out how your so when your company's going to hire somebody that's going to oversee it, see what skills they have and then work on those skills. So if your company's going to hire, let's say, and they're going to call job title overseer of AI, look at those skills and start working on those. And if you have those skills checked, if you have this, you have this, you have this, you put them on your resume and you see the job come up, you apply for it automatically. You go to the hiring manager internally and say, hey, I'm ready for this. I'm ready to take this promotion. I'm ready to take the next steps. And you can let your company know, right, Ali? Would you tell your company that you want to be overseeing AI, you want to get a promotion? Would you tell your manager? Yeah, you can be. I'm always like, I try to be honest because if there's going to be an opportunity, then I would apply. Good information. I'm glad you like it. You also have great information content. Keep the information coming. Yeah. Position phasing out. Yep. Corporate position are kind of phasing out. But yeah, work on yourself. Try to, and this is what nobody told me when I started off in my early career that the job description of the next job that you want is right there. You just have to gain those skills, and it's like a blueprint. You're right here. You want to go up here. These are the requirements. Start working on these, and say if you're like, oh, I need to get I don't know, Adobe Experience. Download it at your house, at your own thing, and say, yeah, I'm gonna invest a little bit in myself, and maybe I'm gonna start drawing it. Maybe I'm gonna start looking at somebody over the shoulder with it. And once you're gonna start doing it yourself, you can then say, "Oh, there's somebody's out, and we need somebody to do Adobe. Oh, let me jump in. I can do it." And then you can do it. Check it off. I did this, and you can then bring receipts. Once you bring receipts, you can then advocate for yourself. If you advocate for yourself, you can get a promotion. What do you think? Ali approves. So, how do you invest in metals? Have you invested in metals or gold? 100% gold and silver. I even have some in coins. Her dad is Ali's dad is highly into silver.
They call him the Silver King.
He's like the silver king. He has so much silver. I don't know how many ounces, 5,000 ounces he got or something crazy.
I can't look them. I don't.
Yeah, you're not gonna find him. So yeah. So he loves it. But folks,
Thank
uh,
you for that, honey.
I gotta get going. I'm being summoned. Tara. Yeah, this is Tara. This is Rex. Well, it was really pleasant talking to you guys. One more question. Do you think the U.S. should return to the gold standard? Nah, because then you can't just print infinite amounts of money, and that's why we went off the gold standard. Plus, you need a certain amount of liquidity in the system that you can lend money to places like Argentina, and that people use the dollar to trade. Because if you know something about crypto, if there's no trade volume, you can hold so much coins or anything, nobody's going to buy it. So you need trade volume. And so if we go back to the gold standard, might be hard. So this was it. I appreciate you guys. I love these conversations. You guys are amazing. Let me know. Watch the video from today, watch the video from tomorrow, and I'll see you guys in the next one.